All right, we are joined by Dr. Fran Tyler and Dr. Will Draper. Hello, everyone.
Hi there. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm wonderful. And I first want to thank you for taking the time out to speak with me this afternoon. And I want to say congratulations on the show. I did see the debut show, and it was just awesome.
Thank you.
And what I want to ask first is, what inspired you to do the show? Whose idea was it?
Wasn't that
We were actually contacted by a
Okay.
production company called Half Yard Productions who was looking to do a series on a married veterinary couple, and they searched high and low and came to
Approached
us and loved our story, and it went from there. That was probably a little over a year ago.
Okay.
And then I got schmoozed.
Oh,
to
you
do
got
it.
talked
no,
into
no,
it?
no,
Don't
no.
even-
Then I agreed to participate.
Okay.
I never thought it was something she would do, but she decided, it surprised me. She decided to do it. And I mean,
Why not?
she likes to tell people she's doing it because of me, but she's having fun.
Okay, all right. Okay, Dr. Fran, let me just ask this question. I am totally afraid of animals, and I need you to give me the best advice to a person who is afraid, just has a fear
Right.
of animals. What advice would you give?
Well, they always say you have to face your fears. So I would say start small. Start with
Yeah, find somebody with a small,
are you
very.
Dr. Fran?
Oh, sorry.
start with an animal that is small and maybe not so rambunctious.
Uh-huh.
Like an older dog, maybe.
Okay.
Or a laid back cat if you're not afraid of cats. And just start, even if you just can sit in a room with one or sit right next to one or something in close proximity so that you learn that they're not going to attack you. And then maybe if you can get up the courage, start petting them. Okay? Or walk with a friend who has a calm animal.
Okay.
All right? And then kind of try to rationalize why exactly are you afraid? Where did it come from?
Right. Well, initially, I just didn't grow up with animals, and in my mind, they have teeth, and anybody that has teeth can bite.
Well,
Yeah.
you went to Tuskegee. You had to have had a boyfriend at Tuskegee. They all bite. You and I, we went to Tuskegee.
So
I know.
I'll tell you, in all my years as a vet, but even just as a person, I have been bitten maybe 5 times. And we've been practicing
26 years, yeah.
years.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe
So-
that for me too. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're careful and you know what you're doing.
And that includes vet school and after vet school,
Yeah.
like immediately after vet school. So most animals, honestly, are very nice.
And I completely agree with.
But remember, they can pick up on your fear, so even more reason to relax.
So that is true.
Oh,
They
no.
really
Yeah.
can smell fear.
Yes.
In a sense,
they can
yes.
they can smell so many emotions. So even when the owners are anxious, I tell them, hey guys, remember, Zorro is going to pick up on that, and he's going to react on that. So we don't need him to be any more stressed than he already is. So
Okay.
breathe.
All
Okay?
right.
But most animals, honest, they're really nice. They're really, really nice, and they want attention. They want your love, and you might like it.
I
would
think about
like
it.
to add, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Very well
okay.
said. But I would think
But-
about, I always tell people, I say, the most fun, beautiful thing in the world is a little puppy. It's got to be a right puppy. Make sure it's somebody with a puppy who is well mannered, because there are some mean puppies.
Right.
But you find a friend who has a nice puppy. I mean, if you get down on the floor and play with a puppy,
Oh,
that'll get you to like a next level. And or like she said, a very nice, sweet, older.
yeah.
Like we have a little French bulldog. If we let you play in the room with him for
You'll fall in
10
love.
minutes, you'll never want to leave him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a mean bone in his body, but I mean that'll help you kind of get over it and realize that they are just like people. Some are great and some are not.
And then you'll see what you've been missing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
think about that one. Okay, Dr. Will, I have a question. In terms of your business acumen, where does that come from? I mean, you're doing the medical part, and then you have this established business. Where does your business acumen come from?
Well, I was fortunate. Both of my parents went to Tuskegee, and my mother's actually from Tuskegee, and my father, who's an engineer, was always very supportive. And growing up in Inglewood, California, they led me to believe that I could do anything I wanted to do, which can be bad. It can be a blessing and a curse if you ask her. She also thinks it's because I'm left-handed. And left-handed people, even though she's left-handed, she's not one of the crazy left-handed people, but I am. You know, and then, you know, Fran's father, Dr. Richard Tyler, was one of the first black business owners I ever met. You know, he had a orthopedic practice over off of West Peachtree here, and I went there when we were in school, and that kind of put in motion in my mind that I wanted to be a business owner, you know, and he was kind of my guidance. And then I had a lot of other mentorship along the way, but, you know, 8 years after we graduated, we jumped. She didn't want to jump, but she jumped with me.
Okay, your team effort. I get that.
Very good job.
That's awesome. That positive reinforcement.
You too.
Okay, so can you tell me what is the most unusual animal that you've ever had to care for?
Most unusual I've ever had to care for, really for me, is not anything too crazy, would be a snake. But you've seen some.
I had a good client of ours who called me to look at some possum.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
I told him that I'll come look, but I don't know about this. And
right.
They had a little cold. They were young ones.
Wow.
So that was different.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the smallest animal you've had to ever do a procedure on?
Me, a kitten. I mean, I don't have anything really crazy. Yeah, kitten
Probably,
maybe. A
probably
very
a
small
rat.
kitten. Oh, yeah, she's done stuff with rats. Yeah.
Rats? Okay.
Yeah.
Taking a tumor out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say, other than a dog or a cat, what's your favorite animal? And that's for both of you to answer.
Other than a dog or a cat.
Other than a dog or a cat.
Guinea pig?
Something easy, a fish.
Guinea pig?
Something that I don't have to deal with every day, a fish.
Guinea pigs, they have lots of personality.
Yeah, guinea pig's pretty good.
Okay. All right.
And they're pretty easy. They're messy,
Yeah.
but they're pretty easy to take care of.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, how have the kids adapted to the cameras? What is their opinion of this new show?
It's a love and hate relationship.
Yeah.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, it's a love and hate.
I didn't know what to say. That was perfect.
It's a love and hate. They love it because it's pretty cool.
Right.
But then they're like, okay, enough already.
Yeah, we had to do the filming. They didn't like it.
Okay.
The youngest was okay with it, but our two middle
Olivia
daughters,
rolls. She just rolls.
our two middle daughters would kind of could take it or leave it.
Okay.
They love
David
it now
was
that it's
mortified.
there. Our son, who's at Emory now, and very close, he'd have to do stuff, and he just didn't want to do it at all. He was doing it under protest.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they all
and
kind
they,
of, you know,
they always, and then I
they
get
pull
it.
it together.
They're kids. They have an agenda, and they want to,
Right.
and they don't understand that some things take a little time.
Mhm.
And,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it was a good, I think, life learning.
Yeah.
Kind of event, and good for them to teach them patience.
Absolutely.
And it was actually interesting watching the crew, how they set up everything.
Yeah, setup took
the
longer than
background.
anything. Setup and breakdown took longer than anything.
Yeah, when at the house.
And I think they weren't crazy about doing it, but then once it came out, they were upset that they weren't on there more.
Right.
Ah.
Yeah, Tyler.
They couldn't put us on there more.
Right.
Tyler said, "What? When am I going to be on?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
we invited
So
you."
now they're seeing the end results. You know,
Yes,
I really
yes.
liked the scene where the animals were sitting. I think, Dr. Fran, you were fixing breakfast.
Yes.
And then all the animals were lined up
Yes,
one by
waiting.
one. And I was thinking to myself, how do they do that?
They're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
And they know when she goes in there and does a particular thing and opens a particular
Yeah.
cabinet, they just start going
That was
crazy.
amazing.
Yeah, when they hear,
Yeah.
like, one of them especially has horrible allergies, so he's on a medication every day, and he hears the bottle, he comes, I don't know where he is, but he
Right.
comes flying. The big blondie, Max. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when they hear the food. And
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah,
they're smart.
I mean-
They're smart. I mean, the routine. They're used to it, and,
Yeah.
and they know that we have a schedule, and sometimes
Mhm.
they forget about the weekends. The schedule doesn't apply on the weekends, but
Okay.
that's okay.
Well, great job. You guys really have done well with
Thank
the
you.
training.
We try.
Yeah. Thank
So let me ask this. You know, sometimes you're going through drive-thrus and you see people that may order that extra serving of food for the dog. Have you noticed any food issues with pets? You know, because of people are trying to humanize those animals. Have you noticed any food issues?
Food issues.
You know, as far as it's called, we call it dietary indiscretion when they
Right.
feed. You know, we always
Oh.
we tell people, you know, your dogs are dogs, your cats are cats. Feed dogs dog food, cats cat food. I know you feel like they need something special like you do, but they don't. And
Well, they can get it.
and they
but in a
can,
dog
but you got to
form.
make sure it has to
The
be in a
dog
dog
form.
food. Yeah. They can get treats.
Yeah.
But don't if you finish the honey baked ham, don't leave a piece out for the dogs because they can't handle that kind of stuff. So all of that processing and the sweets and the salt, they can't handle that, and they get and dogs have gotten really really sick from that. So but we with the internet, people read more and they're better educated, so we don't see a lot of the things we used to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because people are really, really reading, and I mean, they come in here sometimes feeling like they know more than we do.
We do see bad behavior
Okay.
with that dietary thing.
Oh, really?
Yes, they get accustomed to being fed table food, and
Right.
so they're bad manners when you're trying
Yes,
to eat or
yes.
when you're
Ah.
entertaining, and yeah,
We know we'll go to somebody's house for dinner, and their dog will come in there, and
And
the dog
just
will just come up there and sit next
sit
to us
there.
and do this.
Waiting.
or even,
And they'll say-
or even counter serve.
And then they always
you're
say,
just like-
"He never does that. We don't give him
Right.
crap. So I don't know why he's doing that." And Fran like yeah, right.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That
Or
dog
they
is-
hover
yeah.
under the table
Uh-huh.
waiting. And granted, if you have little kids, I get that because they're dropping
Yeah.
stuff.
Right. But adults know better, right?
Well, they
Yes.
should. They should. But we're all, we're human. It's okay.
So let me ask, this is the last question. What do you hope people will grab from your show? It's called Love and Vets. What one thing or a few things you're hoping people will hold on to?
I'm hoping that the show keeps Fran and me
There you
together
go.
because she's trying to leave me.
Oh, no.
No, stop.
No.
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 Just,
You
I
know
don't
what?
know, the pets can be, and for us definitely are, an integral part, I think, of a good life.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think, unless you have horrible allergies or obviously can't afford a pet, that I think every family should have a pet. I think it's a great thing. I didn't grow up with pets mainly because we were traveling all the time, but trust me, as soon as I was on my own, I grabbed them. Okay, but I think it makes life so much better. And as far as the love, I think people will see. Yeah, we're not perfect, but life is short, and found a good partner, got a phenomenal family, and
Mm-hmm.
gotta enjoy
I
it.
thought you were about to say you had a phenomenal partner.
Okay, on days I have phenomenal.
So animals really
know,
can make a
here's-
difference.
Oh yes.
Here's what I hope
animals,
is,
yeah.
Fran and I.
you need to love them also.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fran and I were literally best friends for years. I mean, literally. And, so we married our best friend. We get to do this great job every day. It's the best job in the world. And I think a lot of people don't really understand how much is in veterinary medicine. They think they take their dogs and cats to get shots, but they don't understand that they're getting x-rays and ultrasound. And we want people to see that, particularly kids who might want to be a veterinarian, and for those kids who've never seen
Right.
African American veterinarians.
And women.
And
We
women
rule
veterinarians
this
who
field
now
anyway.
rule this field.
Wow.
They are the majority of the field now. So, and you can enjoy it and do well.
Yeah.
So,
And being a vet,
yeah.
as my father was saying, he was so impressed, and I don't know. I guess I was kind of confused because he's supported me the whole time with vet school. But when he was watching the show, it just kind of, I guess, reiterated to him how much
Money
a
you
vet,
spent.
how much a vet does, and how fortunate we are that we're not restricted to just internal medicine or just oncology or just
Yeah.
vaccinations.
Right.
But we do it all. And he said, wow, that's amazing.
It is.
I said, yeah, there's never a dull moment, and it's exciting, and I don't know, I think we are fortunate because we can help an animal in so many different areas.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, we have our limits, but
So this is the last question, I promise. Why did you choose pet medicine versus human? I'm just curious. That selection process when you were in school. I mean.
Well, I'll tell you mine. I think I know yours, but you can just say yours. I wanted to be an engineer because my father was an engineer, and we were visiting my grandparents. When I was 11, we were visiting my grandparents in Tuskegee, and he and I went up to the engineering school, and I started asking him questions about that, and he kind of sat me down and said, you know what, math is not your thing, and you have to be really good at math to be an engineer. He said, but you love pets. And he said, you know, and you talk about being a veterinarian. What do you think about being a veterinarian? And I was like, well, I mean, he said, there's vet school right over here. And he took me over there. Who was the physiology teacher?
Webster.
He took me over there, and he had one of his undergraduate classmates was now a professor there, a guy named James Webster, and I was 11, and he introduced me to James Webster, and we went around the vet school. And when I left there, I wanted to be a veterinarian, and then I was there, 9 years later, and James Webster is one of my instructors. And a mentor to me who I could go to when I had, but that's Tuskegee. That's the thing about Tuskegee. It's family, and you can call and go to an instructor's house at night if you're having a rough time, and they'll sit down and make you dinner. It was a combination of that, and I mean, it's clearly the path I was to take because I don't know what else I would do.
All right.
I could be a good lawyer.
That you would be. Yes.
And how about you, Dr. Fran? What?
Well, I guess it's twofold. Of course, the standard, yes, I always loved animals. But then also, with my father having been a physician, I did sometimes follow him, and of course, always heard the stories when he came back from work. And then as he got older, or as I got older, rather, I would hear some of the disgruntled comments, especially involving insurance and whatnot, and how things weren't the way they used to be, that he could practice the way he wanted. And then also, I'm a very clean person, and I don't particularly care for dirty people.
Oh, okay.
That should be able to take care of themselves.
Okay.
So I heard many unpleasant stories from my father. So I said, no, I think I'll stick with animals. And they're helpless.
He messed up her head.
And I love kids, and animals are very, very much like kids.
Okay.
I would never go back. I love it.
Well, I want to say congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
You're doing an awesome job, and much success to your business as well.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for taking the time
Golden
today.
Tigers rule.
Absolutely.
You can say that too.
A Golden Tigers rule. Bulldogs rule too.
Thanks.